Hi guys, welcome to iHeartBody. Today I'm going to be making sushi. I'm going to be making a variety of different types of sushi, and this is a no rice sushi. So when you're on this lean and green diet, you're able to have sushi and still get your sushi fix and not break your diet. So let's start off with the ingredients. You want to start with your healthy fats. So this is half an ounce of avocado just mashed up. This is 1 tablespoon of light mayo. And then we're going to go with our greens. This is half a cup of cucumber, 1/4 of a cup of green onions chopped and minced into little pieces in here, 3/4 of a cup of roasted bell peppers. What I did was I took the whole bell pepper and I put it in the roasting oven for about 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then it whittled down and it was nice and soft like this, and I peeled back the skin and took everything off. The leftovers I'm going to use for tomorrow to make something else. So for your condiments, you want to be using 2 nori seaweeds to wrap your sushi in, 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce, and the sriracha sauce bottle looks like this. You could normally get it at the Asian market for $2.50. It's hot, so beware of that. For your leans, you want to be using 5 ounces of yellowfin tuna. This is raw. This is a sashimi style grade. You need to get a sashimi style grade and able to eat it raw. You could have 10 ounces of this for your leans, but I'm cutting it in half so I could have a variety of different types of leans. And then for the remainder of the leans, I used shrimp. It's 3.5 ounces. I cut that in half from the 7 ounces that you're allotted. So let's start making sushi. Let's start making using our tuna to make our sushi first. What I like to do is I like to actually cut up a few pieces and put them aside. So we'll take some of this and we'll cut it aside, slice into thin slices. So I have about 6 slices. We're going to plate it on here, make it look all nice and neat. Okay, so for the remainder of the sushi, what you want to do is you want to cut it up into small pieces. You want to mash it and make sure it's to like a creamy like texture. So just cut it up like this. Almost mince it. And then we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag and mash it together. And you want to make sure you have a knife that's extra sharp, because when you're cutting your sushi, it might get a little hard because you're not going to be using rice to cut everything with. So it's minced up like this right here. What you want to do is you want to put it in the bag. You could actually use this as the sushi, put it in your nori, but I like mine more of a creamy texture. So let's put that in the bag at all times because this gets a little messy. It's really prep intensive to make this, but you know, if you're craving sushi on a diet, it works. You'll be able to do anything for a quick fix on a diet. So what you want to do is you want to take it in the bag. You want to take something like a hammer and just mash it down. Point where everything is kind of just smooth and tender. That looks like it's about good. I think a few of them got out, but this looks like it's good. And you want to take it out a little more. Give another good chop. There we go. So now you have your tuna base. You put it back in the bag. So for your sauce mix, I don't normally use soy sauce to dip my sushi in, so because there's a lot of sodium in there. So what I do is I put this, and this is actually what sushi restaurants use to make their spicy tuna. So it's just mayo and sriracha sauce. So you mix that together. This is your cream base you're going to be using for your sushi. You put some of that on your tuna that you just placed, just as a little drizzle. Put some green onions on top of it. So what you want to do now is you want to put your tuna in a little bowl like this. Put some of your cream sauce. I call it yummy sauce. So you want to put some of your sauce in here. Mix it all up. Make sure it's in a good texture, creamy consistency. You could add some more if you like. Mix it all up. And since you're not using rice in this recipe, you can actually cut this in half and make a smaller sushi roll. So what you want to do is you want to take that and cut it in half. There's half of them. And like I said, you could be using 2 of them. So you want to cut the other one in half. So we're going to place 1 sheet of nori right here. It's just the half of the sheet. Place some tuna along here. Make it out. Okay, and you can normally get sashimi grade tuna at your local Japanese market. There's one down the street from me, so I was fortunate enough to get one of those. Make sure it's sashimi grade, because if it's just raw, then you might get sick. And then you want to put some avocado, and you're more than free to mix and match and change whatever you wanted during this recipe. And we want to put some cucumbers. And I used my spiral slicer to slice really thin slices of cucumber. So I just put that alongside there. Right there. And then I want to add some green onions. Now it's time to roll it up. I should have placed this on the bottom. You want to place your sushi roller right here. Take that and roll it. And make sure it's closed on the bottom, right here. Close it up a little. Make sure it's evenly spread out. Okay, now there's different ways to close it. I just use some of the sauce right here. And I close it up by kind of sealing it with the sauce. Just kind of lightly coat that and then have it roll up like this. And then hold it together, squeeze a little, and put it aside. It's a little tiny roll, but you know, it works. And if it's still a little open, just put a little more on here. And just let it sit in for a little bit. There. So we're going to be making our other roll. And I'm actually going to be adding some shrimp as well to this one. I just want to mix and match and get some different variety of different flavors. Put this aside. Put some of the shrimp in here. Okay, some green onions. All right, so I've made about 3 rolls. I want to actually show you how to make the little bell pepper rolls. You want to take one of these bell peppers, the roasted bell peppers that I took the skin off and roasted in the oven for about 350 degrees at probably about 30-40 minutes. And it's just one bell pepper, you just put it in the roaster. You want to take some of the shrimp or whatever meat that you want to use. I use the shrimp, and then you put it in here. Then you roll it up, and then you put it on a toothpick. You don't necessarily always have to have seaweed to make the little sushis, but here's a little one right there. And then what I did here is I also put cucumbers, and I put some of the sushi and shrimp on there as well. So I'm going to show you real quick on how to cut the sushi. You want to take it, cut it in half, then cut it in half again, and then cut it in half. And cut that, and then since it's so small, you want to cut it slowly, and there's no rice to bind it together. So we are done making our sushi, and this is just a different variety.